So undoubtedly a very strong player. Okay, I'm done with the Slav. Play some sort of Queen's Gambit. He's going for a Catalan. Let's give it a check. This is probably the most solid positional line. Provoking the bishop to d2, and then playing a close position with c6, b6, or sometimes going for a stonewall with knight e4 and f5. Okay. So he allows me to kick his bishop back, which is one of the, I mean, this position has been seen tens of thousands of times, I'm sure, and I'm going to go for a straight hedgehog structure because it's not maybe the best way to play, but it is always interesting. It's actually allows knight g5. I think I'm supposed to play bishop d6 first. I don't see why the trade of bishops is bad for me, although it does make e5, I guess, a bit weaker in principle. Usually a trade of bishops isn't a big deal. So let's see how we should do this. I would love to play b6. I don't know why he's maintaining his knight there. I mean, he could have tried to get it back, b1 to c3 or something. I mean, the knight on a3 is definitely not good, and he allowed me to get b6 without having to worry about cd5 and queen c6 stuff. So now I think I should have a very healthy position. And I assume he'll have to move his knight back at some point because the knight is really awkward. So I'll go for a5 and try to get a4 maybe. I know we both have like many ways. He could also play knight c2, e1, d3, for example, trying to get to the e5 square, but it is quite a long journey. And I don't see why I can't start some play on the queen side as well. Also, sort of typical to play c5 in these structures. But this looks fine. I might even consider putting the pawn in a3. Okay, so he's letting me, I kind of prefer the structure, but he does get b4 in. So I'm going to play b5 and put my knight on c4, knight b6 to c4. I do have a lot of weak squares, but I also have outposts for my knights on c4, and e4 is sort of also an outpost, because if he ever kicks it with f3, it does weaken e3 considerably. And we're also doing well on time. I have pretty much double his time, which is quite nice. Yeah, I'd expect he would do that and put the queen on c2 or e2. All right, so let's put the rook on e8. Try to, since my bishop is doing absolutely nothing on b7, I'll try to get it back. Yeah, I don't think the knight does especially much on c5. Maybe he wants to take on c4. Does he though? I can d4 and then he'll put a knight on e5. Okay, that's very double-edged as well. I mean, I'll have to play dc4 after that, so I don't lose a4. But then his king becomes very weak if he ever gives up that bishop. So he'll play knight e5. And here I'm kind of tempted to take on c5 since he has to take back with the b pawn. And put something on d5. I would love to put my bishop on d5. That would be beautiful, but I might have settled for my queen since... or maybe I can do it slowly. Queen c7, and then bishop e6, d5. Since he's not really doing much here. And once my bishop gets there, I think it'll be pretty bad for him. Yeah, I don't see how that helps him. I guess he's stopping me from trying to advancing my pawns on the queen side, but okay, this makes sense. He wants to get e4 in. Yeah, this position is not as clear-cut as I had hoped. I'm gonna play h5 and h4. I was surprised he didn't go for e4 there. e4 and I'll take, and for my bishop on e6. His king is still kind of weak. I mean, I guess he should take. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with that move. I'll play rook h8. Now I have bishop h3 threats. Yeah, he should take. Okay, I'll play rook f4. Queen g3. Queen e7 allows all sorts of queen d8 then. We were kind of low on time, so it's a bit of a mess. Queen g5, okay, rook h4, I don't know. We're both down to very little time, but I have pawns I can push now. Okay. I have my pawn to promote as well, but yeah, that got really out of hand at the end. I assume he was also pretty much winning once we got down to the last few seconds. Let's see, okay.